city in the mountains full of mountains, a city in the forest full of forest. This is Guiyang. Because of its geographical location on the eastern slope of the Yunnan-Guizhou Plateau, and because of its low latitude and high altitude, the climate here is and comfortable. Warm in winter and cool in summer, Guiyang has a reputation as one of the best 10 cities in China for escaping the summer heat. The line, "The flowers look like rain and leaves are piled up everywhere," was written in a poem 300 years ago by poet Zhou Qiwei, introducing cool and refreshing Guiyang to people. Looking back over the history of Guiyang's development, it's a vivid history. There were countless waves of immigrants, making Guiyang a city full of different ethnic groups. Not only are there many minority festivals, there are also over 100 different traditional snacks. By day or night, there are food stalls on every street corner. Some restaurants and hotels even include such snacks in their banquet menus. Because of the multi-ethnic, tolerance and inclusiveness have long since characterized the people of Guiyang. This allows the city to quickly absorb and innovate all things foreign, which means it's constantly progressing. Hello, I'm David from the UK. Please me to lead you on a journey exploring this amazing city, surrounding by mountains, accompanying with lakes, encircling in forest and permeable air. Guiyang. I'm from the UK, but I grew up here in Guiyang, and I've spent almost 13 years of my life here. I love the green parks that are dotted all around this city and are perfect for an early morning walk. I love the old streets and alleys that are still intact, and I love the food. It's absolutely class. The city has developed and changed over the past 20 years, but it still feels the same. So, throughout this series, I will be taking you to these local places and showing you how Guiyang has changed and developed. Climbing Chenling Mountain along the Nine Bends path whilst drinking fresh spring water. This is the daily routine of many people in Guiyang, including me. When I was a kid, I loved running to the top of Chenling Mountain and looking out over the city, out of breath but feeling free. In the blink of an eye, 20 years have passed, and I can observe massive changes that have taken place here. Due to the mountainous landscape, the people of Guiyang have had to innovate by incorporating mountains and water into a city that anyone would be proud to live in. They have built dams to form lakes and winding roads up the mountains, all while safeguarding the environment. Only after centuries of hard work are we able to see the beautiful Chenling Mountain Park before us today. Chenling Park is in Guiyang's Yunyan district and can be traced back to the Ming Dynasty. It covers an area of over 4 million square meters, just 1.5 kilometers from the city centre. Natural beauty, cultural relics, folk customs and entertainment are all features of the park. It is known as the #1 mountain in southern Guizhou, thus the name Chenling Mountain Park. This is not only a national tourist hotspot, it is also the symbol of Guiyang's eco-civilized city development plan. It always feels like spring here. Everything is green, the air is fresh, and that's why all the locals love coming here to do their exercise. That's also why it's one of my favorite places in Guiyang. The city is expanding daily, with construction of new buildings and renovation of old districts. The noise of industrialization is filtered by in the mountains, forest and lakes of Chenling Mountain Park. The lush greenery and dignity, the #1 mountain in southern Guizhou, is worthy of the accolade Jewel of the City. Today's Chenling Mountain has become the best place for locals to socialize, relax and exercise. For some, it's even a necessity. From the call of distant mountains to the central ecological parks, all is evidence that harmony with nature is in the bones of Guiyang's inhabitants. If I tell you now that the famous Jiaxiu Pavilion is built on a giant rock in the middle of a river, you probably won't be surprised. If Chenling Mountain is the favorite place for locals to relax, then Jiaxiu Pavilion is the favorite place for visitors. This is one of Guiyang's most famous landmarks, so there's always a steady stream of tourists coming and going, taking photos and just enjoying the surroundings. Eco-City is not just a tag for Guiyang, it's a goal for the city's development. Walking around Jiaxiu Pavilion, one can't help feeling the history emanating from the ancient building, and the fact that even hundreds of years ago, the city's forebears understood how to adapt buildings to the nature and landscape. This Jiaxiu Pavilion stands on a huge piece of aluminite in the river and connects the two banks. The Nanming River flows along below, while people come and go above. Permeated with a strong breath of civil life, the natural ecology, harmony and beauty. Therein lies the charm of Guiyang. There is an old proverb in Guiyang: no 3 days of sunshine, no 3 feet of flat ground. Guiyang is found in a region with karst topography, so the landscape is very diverse. The people of Guiyang were forced to adapt buildings to the terrain, for they could not tame the natural environment. This resulted in the ups and downs and crisscrossing of old streets. Guiyang's warmth is contained within the rough edges of old alleys. These hidden alleys in the city with their red brick, blue tiled houses create a strong sense of nostalgia in older locals and are branded in their memories. As times have changed, the remaining alleys have also been eroded by time. Their walls and tiles are coated with dust. The city is continually growing, but the pouring of reinforced concrete cannot create nostalgia. Come and explore these old valleys when you have a chance, and experience what authentic Guiyang feels like. The most characteristic and common decorative designs in Guiyang are tiger stripes, phoenix feathers, lion manes, golden bamboo, orchid flowers and camphor leaves. These incorporate mostly square geometric patterns. Colour is used to convey a sense of elegance and which are two extremes of feeling. Modern architecture with regional features is usually distinctive, eco-friendly and lighter in colour. This Dajue mansion, known as Huajia Villa, was built in a Republic of China style. Its architecture is unique, its design is exquisite. This is the best preserved group of wooden buildings in Guiyang. There are many of these four-walled homes in Guiyang. They are full of history. They have elegant architecture and a beautiful courtyard. Nowadays, they are used by the local art enthusiasts as places of learning. The best way to investigate a city's history is to start with its ancient buildings. In a way, such buildings are symbols of historical memories and links in the chain of cultural development. There are many such old buildings like Dajue Mansion in Guiyang that survived the storms of time. They are like ancient elders, a frown here, a smile there, even a wrinkle is full of memorials from the past. Culture is like grains of gold on a riverbed. Only the heavier grains remain. The old streets in Guiyang are just like this. They have survived and are becoming more and more interesting as time passes. The natural environment has always been important to the people of Guiyang. Throughout the years, the builders of this city have never lost sight of that, and it is precisely this affinity to nature that has allowed the development of Guiyang to rise to new heights. The Garland project is in the center of Guiyang, is the largest shantytown reconstruction project in the whole of Asia Pacific. It covers an area of 10 square kilometers with a demolition area of 4 million square meters. More than 20,000 households were demolished and over 100,000 people relocated. Total investment in the project has been about 100 billion RMB, and the buildings have created over 18 million square meters of usable space, integrating housing, commerce, art and culture, business offices, tourism and artificial intelligence services, all in one big urban complex. In recent years, it has also become one of Guiyang's best known landmarks.
Hi there, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Thomas, nice to see you.
David.
David, nice to see you.
Yeah, so I've been living here in Guiyang for a few years already, and I know that these buildings have become a symbolic building for Guiyang. But why is it designed this way?
Okay. The whole way the HLC Center was actually designed is the best answer that I can give to your question. Guiyang is a city that is very nature-oriented, as you know. There's lots of mountains, lots of greens, lots of scenery. So in the process of designing the whole complex, we have really wanted to be able to represent basically how nature and modern contemporary cities get to integrate one into another more and more. So, David, the main principle basically behind the buildings we have here is to represent the meeting and the combination of a city that is very nature-oriented with the requirements of modern life and consumption. So this is kind of where the dolphin comes into place. This is why we call it Deep Place. Water flowing, mountains around, and what is, as of today, the tallest twin towers in China. They stand at 335 meters high, which is roughly 1,100 feet.
The tallest twin towers, right?
Correct.
Not the tallest towers.
Not the tallest tower, but the tallest twin towers in China as of today. And so this basically aims at becoming a new central point for modern city life and consumption. So two things that we've been working really hard on. One is becoming the first project in the world that will have a triple WELL, LEED and CITES certification. So really working on sustainable architecture.
Guiyang's International Trade Center, the Twin Towers, are epitome of the city's economic growth. The center is regarded as a symbol of the rise of Western China and represents the style and temperament of the city. Thomas, who was part of the Twin Towers project, enjoys discussing the ideas behind the design. Construction of the Twin Towers not only carries dreams of further development, but also hopes of rising to new heights in the future. So when I was younger, none of this existed.
Right.
It was just self-constructed houses that the people lived in, so like small buildings piled on top of each other almost. So how did this redevelopment change their lives, or what impact did it have on their lives?
Right. Well, as you remember from being a kid here and growing up here, The land we stand on right now actually used to be the biggest shanty town in the whole of Asia Pacific. So very, very different from what exists here today as you've seen it built and as you also see the final result today. The whole idea basically in conjunction with both the central and local government was to be able to kind of elevate the living standards, not just of this place but also of the whole city. So the land that we are on here today covers a whole surface of roughly just above 10 square kilometers, which is about 4 square miles. And the total constructed surface that we have here, so all the buildings basically of the development combined, represent 18.3 million square meters, which is roughly 200 million square feet. It's the biggest development in Asia Pacific as of today. We have combining the people from the shanty town that used to live here and are still here today in part with all the other ones that came in afterwards. We have a rough population right now just upward of 450,000 people, so that's 10% of the total city population, the total population of Guiyang. And we also have been able, by creating this from the inception onward and having this at the heart of it, being able to answer the needs basically on a 360-degree basis to what it means to have a good quality of life today. So to give you a few key elements, we kept 55% of the land that is dedicated to non-constructed space, with a focus on greens and parks. So we have 5 mountainside parks. But I do have to say that it's really impressive to see in 10 years' time the biggest shanty town in Asia Pacific turn into a full-blown operated and functioning city. That's really quite something.
The phrase, "a city full of mountains among mountains," refers to Guiyang's natural landscape, and it spurs us on to build an ecological Guiyang. The catchphrase, "cool and refreshing Guiyang," doesn't simply reflect geographical advantage, but the sum of efforts by generations of inhabitants to build the city. Today's Guiyang is moving quickly to become ecological city and development the whole city rapidly, which explains why it has been able to reach new heights and speeds. In time and space, a city's landmarks constantly change. As they change, they stand witness to progress, while preserving memories from the past, ecological priority, development with environmental protection. Guiyang has grown out of greenery, becoming a flexible, breathing, green city. Guiyang has a rich food culture due to the many minority people who have come to live here over the last 400 years of migration. As the Guiyang dialect goes, where to go, what to eat, it's still possible to be disoriented when confronted with all the food.
你好，大侠，这里洋芋吧。
谢谢。
你好，你的菜都上齐了。
好。这些小吃都是什么？
这些小吃都是咱们本地比较出名一点的小吃。然后这个是我们本地的丝娃娃，也是贵阳的一个代表菜。然后这个是洋芋粑，里面配有脆臊这些。是我们本地人小时候经常吃的一种菜了。这个是不丢嘴洋芋片。
不丢嘴洋芋片。
不丢嘴洋芋片，不丢嘴意思就是离不开嘴嘛。
这些辣椒蘸水呢，是用来是？
对。
怎么吃的？
这些蘸水都是配每道菜用不同的蘸水，更能体会出这个菜的一个美味。然后这2个汤是配丝娃娃的，
有什么区别吗？
这个是老汤。
老汤。对，
是我们贵阳在吃丝娃娃最开始用的一种汤，它就是酱油、醋，还有折耳根、葱，然后这些在一起熬制而成的。 这个味道就稍微偏清淡一点。然后你那边呢是酸汤，是后面丝娃娃新加的一种汤品了。它的口味就偏重一点。然后这个蘸水，它是配酸汤鱼的。
酸汤鱼。对，
它里面有小米椒。
小米椒。
对，有小米椒。那你就慢用，有什么不懂的可以叫我。
好的，谢谢，谢谢，谢谢。Myriad delicious foods can't compare with a perfect dip. In Guiyang, no matter how good the food, if there's no dip, it can't be called a delicacy. Different dishes require different dips, and different dips can be used for the same dish. Not only are dips essential at every meal, but most of the time a dip determines the quality of a meal. Look at all this, it's class. Let's start off with this. This is called Siwawa, which means like silk baby. So first you take a little piece of rice paper, and then you can add whatever of these cold foods that you want. But this is the best stuff here. So this is like pork crackling, but it's deep fried. You put that in, and then you wrap it up like a wee baby. You could use your chopsticks or your hands, it doesn't really matter. It's good stuff. This is probably one of my favorite things, because you can choose which of these little dishes that you want to mix in with it. And then the sauces are class as well. They add a bit of spice to everything. And it's a traditional dish of Guiyang that I grew up eating as well. It's class. This ball is a ball of tofu. He told me that you have to, the boss just told me that you have to split it open. Then you use this little spoon, mix the sauce, and you just whack a whole spoonful in this. The crispy tofu on the outside is very good. And then you see here, you've got the pickles. This is like a Chinese, like a root that only Guiyang people eat. It's a bit strange, but it's good. And then also the spice and vinegar and what's that called? Soy sauce. It's very good. If you add it all together, it makes it something special. If you just eat that by itself, it's nothing really special. It needs the spice added to it for it to become something good. This is spicy fish, spicy sour fish. So he told me that you're supposed to dip it in this sauce first, but the spice is very spicy, so I'm gonna try and avoid that. We'll see. It's got a little bit of a sour kick from the soup, and then this just adds a little bit more spice along with the, you see the roots again. It's something that the Guiyang, people of Guiyang really like to eat. It's pretty good. Here in Guizhou province, chilies are the main ingredient in dips. Dips may not be liquid here. They can be served wet as a sauce or juice, alongside dishes or as seasoning in the dishes. They can even be the dish. These dips are just like pickles in northern China. In Guizhou, different sauces made with chilies are called chili dips. Guiyang is on the Yunnan-Guizhou plateau. Due to the unique geography and damp climate, people here have a habit of eating chili, with a focus on its fragrance rather than its spiciness. It's spicy and fragrant. 老板，
你要什么辣椒？
我刚刚去贾秀楼那儿吃了一顿饭，然后想问一下，因为那边蘸水很多，就想问一下做蘸水的辣椒是什么？
做蘸水的辣椒啊，就是有很多，有那种就这种辣椒，炒熟以后做成这个胡辣椒面，这一款。
最好是用这种胡辣椒面。
对，你闻一下，香吗？
香，肯定香啊。可以。
还有现在就是说，贵阳的年轻人现在就是流行用五香辣椒面做蘸水。
做蘸水。
对，这个有。
所以。
对。
我尝一下。
可以啊。
哇，这有点辣。
啊，对，这是辣
的，
这是蒜香味
啊。那贵阳有没有一种只用辣椒做的一种菜？
那贵阳就辣子鸡啦。
就辣子鸡。
哎，就辣子鸡。
那我如果下午想做辣子鸡吃的话，应该买什么辣椒？
那你就用你喜欢吃辣还是吃香？
比较太辣也不行。
太辣不行的话，我们就用你的花旗辣椒和大方辣椒。这是大方辣椒皱椒，特别香哈。这个花旗辣椒呢，就是说它香，还带一点微辣。然后这个遵义椒的话，就是说特别辣，然后也香。我们这边就是拿这个几种做成那个湿的辣椒，做成
湿辣椒，
哎，做成糍粑辣椒，你可以辣子鸡就可以做成了。
做辣子鸡的时候还需要放什么调料吗？像这种
做辣子鸡，我们辣椒选好了是吧？就辣椒、糍粑辣椒做好了。然后我们用一点香料，就是说
最好用
八角、砂仁，这是草果，
这都要放到里面。
都要放一样，就是说你一个鸡的话，其实把鸡放1-2颗就可以了。
这是什么？
这砂仁就是我们贵州贵定的嘛土特产，这个味道特别好。
砂仁
叫砂仁，对，这叫草果，这是原来的，对。
这些都要放，
对，
放到辣椒里面一起炒。
对，一起制啊，哎对。
这些有什么用吗？就是调味道还是？
香啊，它
这是
香。这个这个是白汁，去那个腥味的，鸡有一点腥味就把它去掉，白汁和酸奶。这个其他的主体的这香。就香。如果你喜欢吃花椒的话，还是加一点花椒。
喜欢吃花椒。
对。花椒也可以和油一起制。
那这些花椒有区别吗？
有，这个就是大红袍，这是最好的。你看它颗粒都是不是很大？4颗，对不对？
对。
这个就是小颗，就味道就比较差一点。这个都是一般的。这是最好的。最好的
也是最麻的吗？
最麻，对，又麻又香，关键是。
那我就买一点这种吧。
买一点哈。
然后再来一点。花旗辣椒哈，因为我回去炒菜好用。再买一点香料就行了。
香料，哎，对。
When locals cook, it's simple. Any other seasoning is secondary to the homemade chili mixture that brings the dish to life. That's why the people of Guiyang are rigorous and religious when it comes to their chili. 熊师傅，
哎，你好。
我刚刚在菜场买了这种辣椒，我想学一下怎么做辣子鸡，可以吗？就用这个辣椒就行了吗？
对，用这辣椒就可以了。我们贵州，做辣鸡的话，必须用这个辣椒，然后就打成糍粑辣椒嘛。我们做辣子鸡的话，就必须要用这种，用辣椒。
然后用这种怎么做呢？
做辣椒呢，先用热水，把它浸泡10多分钟之后，然后再用来打葱。
什么是糍粑辣椒呢？
做糍粑辣椒就是用我们贵州辣椒就泡10多分钟之后，葱蒜和姜一起冲熟才成糍粑辣椒。
就是糍粑辣椒。
对。
我先搅一下。
先搅一下，把它已经泡好了。泡好的辣椒放下做气饼上头冲。
烫。
好，再把这放下去吧，放就差不多。把这姜和蒜
都放进去，
放下去，
然后继续冲。
这冲，火起冲，然后
可以。1斤鸡肉的话要放多少辣椒？
要放1两多一点点，做糍粑辣椒就够了。
Guiyang's spicy chicken is unique to Guizhou. First, the chicken is chopped up and marinated in spices, then deep fried in oil until cooked through, and then take it out. Put a load of tsuba chili in an oiled wok and toss. Then put the chicken back in the wok and fry with the chili. This can be cooked as a side dish or as hot pot.
好，现在我们鸡的前期工作已经差不多了，带你去炒鸡了。好，走吧。像熟练就
还要带什么东西吗？
要带，把这盐巴
带了啊。
洗开来。两个大鸡啊，就要菜油来做了，要菜油。所以如果你不要菜油的话，那实际吃辣鸡这个做猪，然后把鸡放下去。对吧？油温低，慢慢炒香了。
现在已经闻到了。
你要看它炒出到黄泡泡出来吧，那说明它就可以了。现在还有水分，就是把它水分要炒干了。对。香，放多点香点，它现在是。
Nice, look at this. Let's go try it. Spicy chicken seems like an everyday home-cooked dish, but in fact, it can be traced back to the chieftain era. Nowadays, it may be a regular dish at home or may be served at banquets as proof of the chef's skill. It's a dish that almost everyone knows. It first popped up in Sichuan province recipes and was named Guizhou chicken. Later, it gradually became known as spicy chicken and spread to surrounding regions. All these dishes are typical of Guiyang, but it's all about this one here in the middle. This is the one that I made with the chef earlier. It's just a chili chicken dish. Let's try it. Oh yes. The meat is tender, the spice is just about right. Not too much, but you can feel the kick. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I love Guiyang and I love the food. It's absolutely class. The tender chicken combines perfectly with the tsuba chili to become Guiyang's spicy chicken. Each bite of chicken is bursting with the rich chili sauce. The fiery flavour envelops the taste buds and you feel the burn in every cell of your body, causing you to sweat and thump the table in appreciation. This is Guiyang street food. Guizhou cuisine does not have a definite style, like Sichuan and Guangdong cuisine does. Like Guiyang, Guizhou cuisine is very inclusive. This is down to its history and geographical location. Many outsiders gathered here, and Guiyang gradually integrated the different foods that they brought. That's why glimpses of Sichuan cuisine and elements of Guangxi and Yunnan cuisine can be found in Guizhou food. But once these outside dishes reached Guiyang, the local habits and preferences, as well as the local ingredients and spices, meant that slight changes and adjustments occurred to the dishes. Today's Guiyang is a city surrounded by good food. The many different delicacies not only satisfy local stomachs, but also attract outsiders. In a way, you could say that Guiyang's inclusivity is clearly reflected in its food culture. Guiyang is a multi-ethnic city. Most of the inhabitants are Han, with the Buyi and Miao people coming up second and third respectively. In addition to these groups, there are Hui, Dong, Yi and Zhuang people among the 20 minorities living here. The complex terrain has formed a natural obstacle to the outside world, allowing the minorities here to preserve their own cultures. They have come to symbolize Guiyang to the whole country and the world outside. This is Guiyang's Qingyan Old Town. It's a tourist hotspot famous for its local food, but not many people know that this used to be the economic and cultural center of Guiyang for over 600 years. So if we're going to talk about culture, then there's no better place to start than here in Qingyan. Many routes along the ancient Tea Horse Road converged in Guiyang. Because of this, Guiyang became the political, military, cultural and commercial center for the province. Many minority forefathers were attracted to come and settle here, developing their ethnic groups. At the same time, they brought with them their splendid cultures. Today, hundreds of years later, such cultural treasures have formed a cultural heritage unique to Guiyang.你好，你好。老板。
哎，你好。
我妈妈特别喜欢这种衣服，就民族服装嘛，对吧？这个卖多少呢？
这个我们这是分卖品，这种是收藏的，因为像这种绣它是老绣，都是以前一针一线绣出来的。像这样的衣服的话，它有几十年了，所以我们是收藏作用的。如果你想要现代的那种拿来穿的话，可以去那边有个布依族村，龙井村那里，然后你可以去那边淘淘，或者是跟他们学一下这个吧。
好，所以这个买不了了。
对，这是非卖的，
收藏的。
对，
挺好看的。那就去龙井村就能买到了。
对，龙井村从这边过去就是。
好，好，谢谢。
不客气，您慢着。
谢谢。
不客气。
If you come to Guiyang, in addition to experiencing the stunning natural beauty and simple and sincere minority customs, you could be lucky enough to acquire some exquisite handiwork. Whether it's Miao silverwork and embroidery or Guizhou's dyed wax and oil paper umbrellas, there are hundreds of different kinds of traditional art and craft to dazzle the eyes. Embroidery and cross-stitch are two flowers in Guiyang's art and craft garden. Among them, brightly colored Buyi embroidery takes on a variety of vivid and attractive forms, crafted by nimble fingers.
你好，
哎，
您是龙姐吗？
哎，是啊。
啊，你好，你好，我是过来学一下刺绣，可以吗？
可以啊，你喜欢哪一种嘛？
我不知道有哪一种。
你看一下嘛，我开手给你。
这是你绣的吗？
啊，这是我绣的。
这是什么绣法？
我们龙井镇的 logo 哎，这个。
就是这个。
蚂蚁针。
蚂蚁针。
这个简单一点。
哦。
简单。
那这个呢？
这个是斗针。
倒针啊？
哎，这个针法就要斗这个线，伸
要
去
倒线。
就可以。
懂了。还有其他的吗？
还有彩绣那边。
我看一下。
这个背带的带是彩绣。
就这个，彩色的。
颜色多一点，就是好看一点。
我能学一下这种吗？
可以啊，等一会教你学吧哈。
好，那这些东西都是什么？
这些东西是小孩穿的衣服，小孩的围兜，小孩吃饭的时候都要戴围兜。
戴围兜，都是你绣的吗？
都是我绣。
厉害。这个呢？
这是背带，
背带。
背小孩的。
背小孩的，就妈妈一般背小孩。
我们家就是用这个背带的。
可以。这个呢？
这是中年人穿，合领穿。
就我这种我能试一下吗？
可以试啊。
试一下。
你看一下合领。
可以，这个好。
Buyi embroidery, xiaohua, in the Buyi language, is a popular form of traditional art in the Buyi area. Buyi embroidery has been around since the reign of Hongzhi over 500 years ago. There are many embroidery techniques, like flat stitch, crepe stitch, entwined stitch, and couching, used to embroider colorful, lifelike patterns.
这个衣服挺合身的哈。
可以啊，我也觉得好看。
我教你绣吧。
好。
坐下。
就坐这儿。
就先画，你看，先画上图。
先画图，在这上面画。
就
用这种笔吗？
这是画出来颜色是好看的。
你教我。
我教你哈。简单的。
你现在画的是什么？
龙井的龙。
龙井的龙。
这个是龙，就是一个井，包裹成内，就包裹这个龙的里面，就是龙井。
也就是你们村子的符号吗？像 logo 一样。
就是 logo 都是要画这个龙井。
龙井懂了。
这是一个牌牌嘛。
对。
人家来看都看得懂。
是用什么方法绣呢？
平绣啊。
平绣。
这个是平绣，这个是。
这个是平绣。
主要是看这个牌，这个龙头。从这里，
从下面开始。
一般都要从龙头，这里。
龙的头开始。
头。
这是什么绣法呢？
倒针一针一针的套上去呢。
倒针。
那是扣，叫扣针呢。
扣针。扣针和倒针就是一样的。
都是一样的说法。你倒起来的不会多了。
Today, with the continuous integration and homogenization of world culture, Guiyang's traditional minority handicraft work has become a beautiful landscape. These ancient crafts are not just a skill to make a living, but represent the spirit of craftsmanship in China. Embroidery is widely seen as a great skill all over China, representing the unremitting pursuit of beauty and detail by craftsmen in each minority group and region.
可以吧？你学学2针可以啊。
拉出来。然后这里就 这样
针，然后
要
插，
从中间插进去，
中间插，它都不会脱了。
然后再
气它吧，
这样，
倒去，倒针，
从中间，对。
就是我们布艺术穿的就是
这个
布。
这个布都是你们自己做的吗？
染的。
自己染的。
吃的不是白色的吧？拿进去染就是这个颜色。
是用什么东西染的呢？
植物，树上那个叶子啊，这些。
植物。
植物。
植物染的。要染多长时间呢？
染大概1个礼拜吧。
1个星期啊？这种如果你绣的话，要绣多长时间呢
？1天。
1天。
这个简单。
我现在绣的这是龙啊，但你这还有个梅花，一朵梅花，然后这个是什么呢？
就是龙凤。
凤凰，
龙凤吉祥。一般都要吉利的东西都是龙凤吉祥。
所以这些的含义就是吉祥嘛，对吧？
龙凤，一个龙一个凤，结婚的时候就要绣在那个枕头。
为什么？
就代表2个人。
2个人。
就是吉祥的意思。
Everyday life is the inspiration for Bouilly embroidery designs. A good piece of embroidery is proof of the dexterity of Bouilly girls. They often pass on their best work as a precious gift expressing good wishes, or as a token expressing their love. The quality of embroidery also helps a man choose his bride.
龙姐，你看，我好像绣好了。
绣好就拿这个针收，就是收针。
然后呢？
就在后面打结，教练，这样。揉一下，把这个按进去。
就拉。就行了。
就行了，剪一下。
怎么样？第一次做怎么样？
第一天还是成功啊。
还可以啊。
OK。
我也觉得还可以。
现在好了。可以了，可以尝试了。
看一下 ，pretty good 啊 ，pretty good。So we're in Longjingchun right now, which is Dragon Well Village, and here I've stitched a dragon, and this behind it is the character for well in Chinese. So this just symbolizes good luck and happiness for everybody. Pretty good for a first time, huh?
Bouilly embroidery is rich and varied, with many different techniques. Each unique piece of work displays the cleverness and dexterity of the Bouilly people. These sometimes magnificent, sometimes delicate pieces of handcrafted art are stunning. There are many other types of minority crafts that have also been passed down, developed and promoted all around the world.
蜡刀的这个建在这个空白上，把它蜡封掉，不要超出这个线条。
这个蜡画和蜡染有什么区别呢？
蜡画就是一般就是蜡画你画出来就不染了，但是一定要做这个。
有点难。
不难。
我觉得有点难。
不难，一点不难。
你画这种蜡画花了多长时间？
我们少数民族从小你懂事的时候就开始画了。
是谁教你的呢？
是自己的妈妈，自己的父母教自己。我们家少数民族一定要会做。你看，
这就是外面的这黑色的。这些线也是用蜡画的
这个外面的这个线条嘛，这个线条用染出来的那个蜂蜡和那个染出来的那个蜡来混合做成的。
蜂蜡
知道吗？
蜜蜂，知道。
自己家喂的那个蜜蜂。
自己家喂的。
就用它的那个巢，用那个巢放在我们民族的那个镇子，就是做饭的那个镇子，用布包起来，用一个碗，就放在蒸脚上。你就把它蒸，慢慢的就像那个酿酒一样的。第二天你拿出来，它就是一大个像碗一样的倒，一倒出来它就倒出来了。就像我这里就有，这里就有，可以看一下，这个就是纯蜂蜡。这个就是纯蜂蜡。
Miao wax painting uses wax as paint to create pieces of art. Painting flowers is an important part of wax dyeing, so the wax is not just any old wax, but rather made of maple gum, pine rosin, tree resin, and beeswax. Miao women are not as particular about the flowery designs they paint. Instead, they are very free and paint whatever comes to mind. Each stroke of the brush not only retains a traditional simplicity, but also integrates modern aesthetics.
我们画的就是蝴蝶啊、鱼啊、花草啊这类似的嘛，
就是大自然的一些东西。
大自然的一些东西啊，花草啊。
这就是4条鱼吗
？4条鱼就是年年有余。
懂了。
我们是称呼这样。
画好了。
已经画好了。
怎么样？
特别棒的，真的还是第一次画，我觉得挺好。
对，我下次还会来画。我下次能不能自己画外面的这些线？
下次你来，你就自己画自己的图案，
自己设计。
喜欢什么画就画什么。
可以。谢谢。
不用谢。
Pretty good, huh?
What ethnic is what worldwide? If we wish to bring traditional arts and crafts of Guiyang to the world, then we have to be innovative whilst respecting tradition and incorporating industrial production processes. We must also offer training classes in order to pass on the love of traditional minority crafts to the next generation, allowing their imagination to add wings to tradition. Guiyang is the only provincial capital in China that is not on the coast, along a river, or near a border. Before the Cultural Revolution, the city didn't have any economic foundations and was known as a wilderness of ethnic minorities. It was behind on all measures of economic development. Over the last few years of continuous development, however, Guiyang has turned its disadvantages into advantages. It has overthrown its meager reputation among the country's provincial capitals to become the soaring phoenix of southwest China.
I'm from Northern Ireland, where the scenery is beautiful, like here, and that's another reason why I love this place. And just like back home, there are wind farms here too, with giant turbines like this one. These wind turbines play a vital role, working non-stop to provide electricity for the city, allowing Guiyang to stay green and beautiful.
At the Cloudtop Wind Farm in Huaxi, the wind turbine pylons are 70 meters tall, with each arm 43 meters long, reaching a total height of 114 meters, about the height of a 38-story building. Once the wind reaches a speed of 3 meters per second, turbines automatically start to spin. At full work capacity, each turbine produces 1,500 units of electricity per hour, which is enough to power about 300 homes for a day. With 23 turbines, over 200 million units of electricity are produced every year. Compared to thermal power, the Cloudtop wind farm generates the equivalent of more than 32,000 tons of coal each year. This reduces sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide emissions by 272 tons and 83,800 tons respectively. In addition, it also saves water and reduces corresponding wastewater discharge. Throughout the world, there is increasing demand for clean, renewable energy. But large-scale renewable energy projects not only need funding, but also scientific expertise and human resources. These problems have all been solved in Guiyang. Today, many companies such as Hisense have built factories in Guiyang. The reason for this is that Guiyang's manufacturing has become intelligent. Guiyang's high-tech district is the first to have been upgraded to an intelligent manufacturing district.
你好，你好，
你好，你好，你好。
这些都是海信制造的电子产品吗？
啊，是的。
那能不能带我去看一下是怎么制造的吗？
可以，可以，因为我们这个是，有防静电要求的无尘车间，所以我们要先换一下衣服。这是我们的防静电服。
防什么的作用？
防静电。
哦，
对，然后还有网帽。
就这样吗？
对。
谢谢。我们在这个地方为什么要穿这种衣服呢？
因为我们这个整个是一个10万级的无尘车间，我们要保证我们的物料、我们的人员进来的东西都要保证它们的洁净度，来保证我们产品的品质。
这里有很多机器，都是用来干什么的？
这几台机器主要是用来通过视觉引导用来做结合的。这样做呢，能够提升我们产品的良率。
就是机器会比人做得更精致一点，对吗？
对对对，我们通过视觉引导之后，它的定位精度已经达到了正负0.05毫米。这个相对来说要比人精准的多良率要高。
那这些员工是干什么的呢？
这些员工在完成整个电视机的装配，
就是把东西放在里面。
对，主要是一个装配的作业。
很厉害的。
In Guiyang's Hisense factory, in the National Economic and Technological Development Zone, a 65-inch LCD TV screen produced by a robot in seconds. In the production workshop of the ultra-large ULED flat-screen TV industrialization project, apart from a few steps requiring manual assistance, most of the process is accomplished by robots.
This is 刚才从我们那个自动的机械手考核机出来的产品，从这儿出来之后，再下一步就是我们的整机装配的工序。
那你们在这一年能生产多少台电视呢？
目前我们工厂一年大概做100多万台电视产品。
那海信生产的这种电子产品有几种型号？
电视产品的话，我们为客户提供了高、中、低不同的选择。型号比较多，我们一块儿去看一下吧。
好，走吧。
Hisense Guiyang is in the process of changing from a typical home appliance company to a high-tech company. In 2019, they produced 1.17 million TVs and 2.47 million remote controls. In the first quarter of 2020, 400,000 TV sets and 300,000 remote controls have been produced.
你看这些就是我们刚刚在摄像线上看到我们的产品，这就是一些成品的展示，像这台产品是目前我们的最新技术 OLED，它通过自发光来实现这个更高的对比度，来增强画质，提高对比度，
看起来像真的一样。
对对对，色彩更艳丽，
更艳丽。
像这个
是我们最新技术的悬浮屏啊，整个产品的零边框啊，提高这个显示的占比啊，像这些技术，我们一些黑科技，我们一直在不断的努力的探索，在进步。像这个是我们目前市场比较流行的这个激光电视，4K 的100寸的激光电视啊，它这个对眼睛的保护有很强的护眼效果啊，然后显示也比较不错啊。这个摆在家里肯定舒服，我也想要一下。像这些黑科技，我们也在努力的探索啊，不断的提升自己。感谢你们海信在贵阳为我们普通人制造这些好产品，谢谢你们，这是我们企业应该做的，谢谢啊。
Hisense Guiyang were part of the first group of enterprises to upgrade to intelligent manufacturing with the help of government dividends. This development of enterprises coincides with the development of Guiyang's overall economy. Embracing new technology and using it to transform the industry is not something that only Hisense are doing. This type of high-tech enterprise is becoming more and more common in Guiyang.
To the people of China, the tag made in Guiyang conveys the sense of reliability. Right now, the Chinese National Antarctic Research Expedition is heading towards the South Pole on vehicles made in Guiyang. They're conducting scientific research along with scientists from all over the world, and it's all down to these little red trucks right here. 你好，你就是这个南极车项目的负责人吗？对。那你能不能跟我介绍一下这两辆车有什么区别？
我们这2台车哈，就是咱们南极车是一个系列的，然后它属于我们那个全地形南极车的一个兄弟车型，它继承了我们全地形南极车的一个关键的一个技术。
我能不能上去感受一下坐在上面是什么样子？
可以啊，走。
这南极车从外面看起来非常大，但车厢算是挺小的。
这个车确实，因为我们这个车主要的核心点技术就是在我们底盘下面。那么咱们这个车厢只安排了4个座位，然后中间呢可以放一些那个可考的一些设备。
这样。那这车有多少马力呢？
咱们这个车有300马力。咱们这个车，对，去到南极的话，那种比较特殊的地形啊，或者雪地啊，
马力就
对，速度也很快，速度可以达到60公里。
60公里。
对。
On the wild Antarctic continent, severe weather conditions such as extreme cold, drought, and winds make survival a challenge. As humans venture deeper into the Antarctic, they also spend longer periods of time there. So the requirements for polar machinery and logistical support have also risen. From the manufacture of household appliances to the intelligent manufacturing of Antarctic vehicles, Guizhou's Zhanyang Limited Company, in collaboration with the Chinese Polar Research Center, have manufactured China's first all-terrain polar vehicle to traverse the Antarctic. This is a sign that more and more Chinese manufacturing and Chinese technology is world-leading.
刚才咱们看到咱们全地形南极车是我们主要生产一款特种装备，然后我们公司其实我们还生产挖掘机这种工程类的一种装备，我们除了这种履带式挖掘机，还有这种轮胎式挖掘机。我们企业是最早生产那个轮胎式挖掘机的，国内第一台轮胎就是我们这边生产的。
这边生产。
对，然后我们的产品挖掘机的产品呢，反正全世界都有。全世界。对。
所以生产以后，你们就卖到全世界。对。
然后这一个车间就是我们专门生产履带式挖掘机的一个车间，
每一种挖机都有不同的生产线吗？
对，我们有履带式车间，还有轮胎式的，还有我们特种装备的。然后因为我们这样把这个分开，把不同产品、不同系列产品分开，这样子的话，对于我们批量化生产，然后提高我们的产能，
就更快，
对，更快，对，
生产的更多。
对，
那就挺好的。
Guizhou Zhanyang was founded in 1936. After restructuring, it became a state-owned enterprise, established by Guiyang authorities. It mainly researches, develops, manufactures, and sells Zhanyang rubber-tired or crawler-type hydraulic excavators. Having started with such diggers, it has also developed special construction machinery and high-speed, multifunctional emergency rescue and engineering equipment.
刚刚咱们看了咱们的全地形拦截车及我们的挖掘机，然后再看一下我们公司新款的在应急救援领域刚刚崭露头角的无人遥控清障车。
就是这个。
对对对。
那这种无人清障车有什么用呢？
主要是用于我们的应急救援，消防救援、消防抢险，主要在自然灾害呀什么情况下，在我们人过去有危险的时候，我们通过我们的无线遥控车子过去，
就用这个，
对，最大程度的保障我们的人员的安全。
能不能给我展示一下？
可以可以，我们这个展示有专门的操作手，那个师傅请帮我们展示一下，这个就是我们的液压破碎，就是说比如说在抢险的时候，前面有石头啊什么的，我把那个石头给破碎掉，然后装备过去，后面的救援装备也能过去，对。
就用这个挖走。
对，因为我们那个最远的操作有3公里，可以控制3公里远，就是人和车之间有3公里，也就是说，在我们消防救援的时候，我们那个人员的危险要远离危险有3公里远，都可以操作，对。
所以这就是个雷达式。
对对对，视频雷达，对，类似于这。
5G is changing people's lives at an unexpected speed. 5G autopiloting and remote piloting are becoming a reality, opening doors for more innovation in the field of construction machinery. Live panoramic video of the worksite is fed back to the control room, which is connected to work vehicles via the 5G network. Imagine a near future where operators can control machinery hundreds, even thousands of miles away without ever setting foot outside, unaffected by time, weather, and the surroundings. This could greatly increase efficiency. Guiyang is rapidly emerging as one of the world's largest data storage bases. If big data were oil or precious minerals, then China's Data Valley, Guiyang's high-tech district, would be an extremely rich mine. By integrating big data and the economy, Guiyang has started using big data, the Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence to upgrade processes from traditional industries and metamorphose into big data intelligent manufacturing. Big data is deeply integrated in the economy and is opening doors to a new era of intelligence development. Here has attracted many domestic and foreign, large and medium-sized enterprises to develop in Guiyang. 10 years ago, Guiyang's GDP was only 81.1 billion yuan. 10 years later, Guiyang's GDP has reached about 350 billion yuan. It has increased about 4.5 times. From 2008 to 2017, the economic growth rate of Guiyang has been maintained at around 11 to 16%, ranked top in the country. And from 2013 to 2018, for 6 consecutive years, the economic growth rate of Guiyang ranked first among all provincial capitals in China. There are over 3.6 million square meters of natural wetland in the center of Guiyang, in spite of its high cost of land. A wonderful source of natural oxygen, with 46.5% of the city covered in forest. It's not only world famous for its ecology and tourism, it's also a gathering place for the worldwide big data industry. Guiyang's high altitude, low temperatures, and cheap electricity prices are unique advantages of this natural engine room. Big data enterprises are booming, engaged in data cleansing, processing, analysis, and application development.
Guiyang's big data has gradually developed and evolved thanks to the technical experts who are working on it, and it has become a part of our daily lives. Although this massive amount of data can't be seen, it is still tangible, and it has improved the quality of life here. So now let's go and experience it for ourselves.
If you wanted to explain big data in literary language, it might sound like a big load of theoretical gibberish, difficult for normal people to understand. What's obvious, however, is that related technological advances are impacting people's everyday lives.
你好，你好。
您好，
我是 David， 我想问一下，这个大数据到底是什么样的东西？你能给我解释一下吗？
好的 ，David。其实大数据呢，从广义上来理解啊，它是通过采集海量的数据，经过分析、建模、清洗、加工、脱密处理之后，我们可以给全产业链、不同行业提供一个解决方案。
那这屏幕上是什么东西呢？
这个就是我们从广义可以落地到每一个产业来深入了解它了。你看，我们现在这个呢是贵州将大数据与实体经济进行了深度融合，其中我们有很多企业，它已经做到非常好的一个案例，它是搭建了一个信息匹配平台，帮助货车司机找到货物，货主能够找到司机。您有没有用过滴滴打车软件？
用过，
它就是货车界的滴滴打车软件。对，但是您看它的市场现在是已经在全国分布的非常广了，已经打通了我国336个城市。那你看实时的这个中国地图上面有一些亮点，对吗？有些地区会更亮一些，这个就说明今天实时的我们直接在通过平台完成的贸易接洽，而通过这个你可以看出我国的经济结构，它亮点越亮，说明那边发货和车辆的分布越广。
那大数据对我们这种普通老百姓来说有什么用呢？
可以说是方方面面，在医疗啊、教育啊，甚至你的出行都有很大的帮助。我建议我们到前方一同寻找一下答案。
好。
The Big Data Exhibition Center is about 7,000 square meters and aims to become an important national, even the biggest and global platform for sharing big data. Based on results from the Big Data Experimental Zone and the China International Big Data Industry Expo, we hope to strengthen the consensus and operations for big data development and help innovation for development of the new big data industry. To fully implement the national big data strategy, bring forward Guizhou intelligence and Guizhou solutions, promote the understanding about brand new front direction and core value of China's big data development by industry and enterprise. Thus promote communication and cooperation at higher level and cover a wider scope.
"其实像您面前现在看到的这个呢，就是我们贵州省针对于远程医疗开发的一个大数据监管平台。我们贵州是率先打通省市县乡4级医疗机构远程问诊的一个地区。它带来的好处就是让村民们他们可以在村卫生诊所直接就远程和省级医师进行一个会诊了。那么你可以看到，通过大数据监管平台，我们重点是监管他们每个医院的会诊情况。你看右侧有一个近期、超期的提醒，就右下角这里，它每一个医院超时没有处理，这平台就推送过来了，然后就推送到卫健委的政府工作人员手中，然后工作人员就出面干预请他们及时的完成问诊。这样的好处是让所有的村民呢，他可以小病不出门，大病少出省。
你刚刚说的是政府的应用，对吗？那企业有没有用这个东西？
企业有啊，我们贵州有一家朗玛公司，也是做远程医疗问诊的，您可以去了解一下。
可以。
In a society where make it data of what you speech, the impact of big data on people's lives is growing. How many steps have you taken this month? Have you exercised more than your friends? How have your body weight and other body indicators changed over the course of the year? Are there any risks to your health? With the rapid development of online healthcare, the application of big data to healthcare is growing.
那这边的话就是我们的一个智能穿戴的一个区域。
那这手机是用来干嘛的呢？可以治病吗？
可以的，是这样的，我们呢是将这款芯片植入到终端里面，比如说手机、转接头还有检测仪里面，就能够对应我们人体的血糖、尿酸、胆固醇和甘油三酯进行检测了。
怎么检查呢？
那这边分别给你介绍一下。就是这是我们的一款定制机，我们将芯片呢植入到手机的内槽，然后我们在旁边开了一个插入试纸的卡槽，你可以看一下。对，然后我们插入试纸之后呢，对我们的手指进行单次的采血，就可以完成这几项指标的检测。那它传输的数据也比较快，也比较准。
这个是怎么用的呢？怎么操作的？能试一下吗？
可以的，可以的。那这边给您演示一下。然后我们前期做消毒处理，插入试纸了，就直接采血了哈，然后它就会自动识别了。这边血糖的话，大概6秒钟就能够出结果。那像刚刚我们检测的数据的话，它都会上传到我们的电视端或手机端里面去。比如说，我们现在就可以去看一下我们测试的数据，我们可以来看一下我们刚刚的一个检测记录。你可以看到这边是我们尿酸的一个记录，第一个就是刚刚你测的一个尿酸值，然后的话它显示是一个正常的状态。
那这偏高的
偏高的就是我们的系统就是会对它进行自动的分析，比如说测的一个数据比较偏高的话，我们就可以来现场来问医生该怎么办，
就直接通过电视问。
你好，刘医生。
你好，这里是3级互联网医院，请问有什么可以帮助您的吗？
我最近就是胸这儿有点痛。
胸痛是吧？是右侧胸痛是吧？
我的右侧，你看的话就是你
的右侧。胸痛有多长时间了？
可能1个多月了吧。
是因为心情不好吗？或者是有一些，比如说心情低落的时候会有这种情况吗？
也有可能，因为整天待在家的话，就更有可能会疼。
就是说乏力呀，或者是呼吸困难这种情况有没有？
没有。
都没有。
都没有。
就只是痛。一般疼痛持续多长时间？
睡觉的时候没问题，就是起来的时候有可能持续1天，持续几个小时。
如果是在室外这种空气比较流畅的地方，您的胸闷会有减轻吗？
对，会有减轻。
因为您只是胸闷，对吧？
对。
也没有其他症状，晚上也没有，睡觉也没有这种情况。
对。
那属于一个就是说，说空气不流通引起这种你的胸闷这种情况。
好，谢谢刘医生。
对，行，好的。
可以，厉害。
Longmaster's business model covers medical information services, healthcare services, distribution of medicine, and intelligent wearable devices. People living in remote areas can use their phones or TVs to obtain diagnoses or results from tests. Medical robots can present an accurate diagnosis from a CT scan. With the development of big data, artificial intelligence, and internet technology, together with the design of a big data healthcare platform, Guiyang has taken the lead in building a great remote healthcare system. This allows patients to access more sophisticated medical technology and a more comprehensive medical service. Computer imaging diagnosis of some diseases has reached an expert level. As artificial intelligence has developed, not only has seeing doctors become easier, but traveling has also become easier. Self-driving cars are no longer just a dream.
In the past, self-driving cars could only be seen in sci-fi movies, but now a group of young people in Guiyang are making it a reality with the help of 5G, big data, and cloud computing. So let's go check it out. 嗨，赵明。
哎，那位，好久不见，欢迎来我们工厂。
怎么样？
最近我在调一些程序啊，遇到一些困难，也是比较难的。要不你看一下，能看懂不？
肯定看不懂，你跟我解释我也听不懂。
不，我们去看一下我们的，通过实物来了解一下产品，好吧？
可以，
走吧，
可以。
走，我们这边走。
好的。那这是什么呢？
这是我们的设计蓝图，相当于是因为我们的很多设计理念都体现在图纸上，然后再转化成实际的生产出来的一个实际效果。
怎么看上去有很多这种底盘设计的蓝图呢？
对，因为我们以后无人驾驶以后，其实我们就不需要上面有人去驾驶了嘛，所以说我们就可以省略很多东西，所以我们就设计底盘，上面的话我们就放各种东西，你可以自己往上放，自由的往上叠，
自己放，
对，自己放，
所以可以分开卖，然后你自己想做什么车你就自己做。
是的，是的，比如说这个车你可以看到它上面放的是物流舱体，然后它就是物流车，那这样呢我们可以给车辆加上壳啊，它就是变成一个正常的车辆。
正常车。
对对对，它就是一个赋予它可变化的一个这种理念，对。
所以现在已经设计完了吗？
对，现在我们已经设计完了，我们有的基本的产品，这个我可以带着你去看一下。
最基本的对吧？
对，我们可以往这边走。我们去看一下我们的底盘，我觉得这个我们底盘还是非常酷炫的。
已经做好了？
对，已经做好了。你看就在这个地方，我现在就让它出来看看。好，出来一下，它会自己出来，你看，非常酷。
对对对。可以，
对，因为它是一切都是电子化的控制，所以说我可以远程让它出来，或者是让它移动，或者让它转向啊。
远程控制。
对，都是远程控制的。对，比如说现在我可以让它转向一下，对，这是不同方式的转向，4轮的。
有几种不同方式？
我们转向有4种模式，这是第一种。然后第2种的话是同向的，就是你看这是侧着的，是同向的。对，同时往这边转的。然后第3种的话就是只是前轮转向，对，就像我们平时开的车一样，前轮转向。对。然后还有一种就是后轮转向这种，然后这种的话，它就是不动嘛，后轮就固定不动，然后就是这样一直直走就可以了。对，我们这样设计是为了满足在一些小的地方的一个转弯半径会非常的小，这样它就非常灵活。对。
那这个是什么东西呢？
这个是我们的定位系统，就是接收。GPS 接收信号的，知道这个车在哪，因为自动驾驶你要知道整个车在哪，对。
然后这个呢，这个小
玩意儿就比较贵了，那是激光雷达，非常的贵，对，非常的精密。然后它是把周围的信息扫描到了以后，形成3维的立体图形立体的，对，立体的。
那这个材料是什么呢？
这个材料是金属铝材，然后这是我们用来以后方便3D 打印，金属的3D 打印来制造整个车辆的一个基础型材。我们现在开展了很多的研究，我们的工作站的话在那边，要不我们现在走，
可以啊，走吧。
这就是我们的3D 打印了，这是一台机器人的设备，全自动的，全自动化的。
全自动。
对。
它这有点像个植物一样的，为什么是一层一层的呢？
因为3D 打印它的特性决定了它是堆叠式的，它是一层一层往上堆起来的，就是先把焊丝融化了以后，然后一层一层往上堆起来，然后达成我们想要的形状。如果这种东西你去机加工的话，就会非常的耗时，材料费也非常的贵。但是我们用3D 打印的话，就不会浪费材料，它全都是堆起来的。对。
我还听说你们这里有一种可乘坐的那种无人驾驶车，有吗？
有的，当然有。走，我带你去看一看。
走吧，
这边。
Artificial intelligence amounts to a series of applications that simulate people's thinking and behavior by studying big data. Self-driving cars are among the best and most complicated applications of artificial intelligence.
现在就全自动了。
现在这个车全程是电脑在监管、在操控，我
什么都不干，
什么都不干，对，我就离开。现在是全自动的状态，对，你看到它车已经停了，然后可以，你看它自己在刹车，我脚没管的，我什么都没管，然后它自己就走了，对。然后 因为它是通过上面的雷达能感应到，你可以在上面看到它是一个人的红色状态。
就这上面。
对。
You're walking around a scenic park, and a mobile coffee bar pulls up in front of you and makes you a cup of coffee. After work, you catch a ride home in a self-driving gym, giving you 40 minutes of workout time as you travel. When you go traveling, a self-driving hotel room allows you to sleep while driving to your destination. In Guiyang's high-tech district, the PIC's moving space digital factory has made this dream a reality. Without question, big data has created many more equal opportunities for development. Today, Guiyang has already become fertile soil for the development of big data. Intel, SAP, Alibaba, Huawei and other top 500 global enterprises have gathered here. Local enterprises such as the Full Truck Alliance, eNice and Esgin are constantly emerging. There are now more than 60,000 people working with big data in the city. Guiyang is becoming the ideal place for innovation and entrepreneurship. There has been a trend to move here in search of success. Guiyang, a city in southwest China famous for its many mountains and rivers. The river Nanming runs through the city, and Qianling Mountain rises in the west. 500 years ago, the Ming Dynasty philosopher Wang Yangming devoted himself here to gaining enlightenment and came up with the philosophy that knowledge and action should go hand in hand. 500 years later, knowledge and action unite, striving to win first place has become the urban construction concept for the people of Guiyang, making Guiyang a model city of verdurization in China and China's summer capital.
I came here once as a kid, but never really realized the significance of the ideas promoted here and the impact they would have on the locals. Now though, after living, studying and working here, I've come to realize that the way I think and act is not so different from what Mr. Wang Yangming was encouraging 500 years ago. This shouldn't come as a surprise either, because I live here in Guiyang.
A city needs its own spirit. Spirit is the highest level of social consciousness. Often, however, it's the spirit of individuals living in the city that reveals a city's spirit. As long as she is in good health, 83-year-old Lei Yueqing gets up every morning and patrols the river Nanming. Should she ever observe anyone polluting the river, she goes up to them to exhort and dissuade them. She has persevered doing this voluntarily for the past 30+ years and is lovingly referred to by locals as the water protecting granny.
您是什么时候来贵阳的呢？
我是1949
年来的。那你当时为什么开始搞这种志愿的这种活动？
我出生是在37年。战争当中，那个对水源都顾不上，有些水源是被污染了的，喝了不干净的水，得了疟疾，差点死去，然后活过来了，所以我对水的干不干净，
非常重视，
是非常在意的啊，在意。49年来的时候呢，为什么我们会定居在这里？这条河吸引了我。山是青山，水是绿水，绿水青山。那么这个就像一幅美丽的山水画，特漂亮。
所以你肯定看到了很大的变化。
对，我就看到它从清澈见底，一腔水底，到慢慢的被污染。一个工业污染。一个城市的生活污水的污染，这样子呢，你说这个南明河怎么承受得了？
Environmental protection is not achieved overnight. From the 1950s onwards, as Guiyang developed and the population increased, many new factories were built along the Nanming. Industrial and domestic sewage were all discharged directly into the river, polluting it. Water pollution not only affects people's health, but can also cause a city to lose its splendor and charm. Over the past 30 years, a clear river Nanming in my heart has been the motivation behind Lei Yueqin's daily river patrols.
奶奶，我们先休息一下吧。
好的，好的，来吧，在这坐着休息一会。哎呦，
这河边现在看起来还挺好看的，但以前是什么样子呢？
这个以前这条河一直到这里是在04年清理以后，再加上每年的不断的清理，才有现在的样子。你看看以前，这是04年的，咱们清淤的。这张图是04年，贵阳举全市之力，就是经济上的、人力上的、财力上的这个来治理这个南明河运走。你看看，这是我94年画的，很粗糙的一个不是很精致的，但是呢，可以看出一些问题来。1994年是污染最严重的南明河的主河道。从五眼桥到水口市，你看这一段的黑色地方，
所以这些用红色标的都是有污染的，
工业污染的，工业污。
94年的时候，差不多每个地方
都是这样，都是被污染的。这一张04年呢，政府下决心嘛，要治理它，不但是有民工，还有解放军战士来参加，来治理它，15年呢撤掉了，
对，
是吧？从12年、12、13、14、15 3年，这3年的治理呢，俺们大工厂撤掉了，
所以从这张
图看得很干净，
对，比以前好多了，
好多了。我一共呢，在这个行走的当中，覆水的当中，我画了6幅画，6幅。我要等到这个水彻底干净以后，大家都有了环保意识来保护这个水源了，我再画最后一张。
这几年看到贵阳的变化很大，还有这水流的干净度也变好了。那您自己有什么变化吗？
我自己的变化，我的感觉很多。因为在我初期的时候，我是一个人。就像鲁迅先生笔下的强林嫂一样的，去啰啰嗦嗦的劝告这些人。那时间的语言很苍白。现在呢，就说是大家都起来关心着我们的清水绿山，
要有行动，然后也不能就一个人来做这件事情，
对，
一个人的力量不够，
对，发动，人人参与嘛，
这也算是贵阳人的一种精神，对不对？
对，贵阳的一个精神，我呢就是深有体会，这样的一个凝聚力嘛，
For 35 years, Lei Yueqin has patrolled all the water sources of the city, searching for sources of pollution and picking up rubbish. She spent 7 years hand-drawing 6 different pollution control maps for the river. The strength of one person, however, is limited, and environmental protection needs everyone to pull together. What encourages Lei Yueqin is that since the municipal government joined hands with public welfare offices, the river water has become clearer and its banks greener, recovering some of its former glory. In addition to protecting the river, Lei Yueqin also finds joy in passing on the seeds of environmental protection to others. If you love a city, it's because there are people you love living there. If you protect a city, you also have to protect its natural scenery.
你好，你好。
你好，
你是陈书记吗？
是的，是的。叫我陈老师就行。
陈老师啊。
请说。
那你以前当过老师啊？
对啊，我以前是美术老师。
怪不得，这里很像一幅画，然后这里改造的东西也很漂亮，都是你改造的吗？
对，整个山村，整个这一片，它都是一个荒山和一个荒地。当时我们就和当地的村民就在商量。我们能不能一起来做一点事，就是把这些荒地我们充分的利用起来，让你们更多有走路和散步的，或者是一些娱乐活动的一个场地，所以我们就规划了一个山体的一个公园出来。
那这后面的这个民宿是你设计的吗？
对，整个这个稻田餐厅的理念是我提出来的。
你是怎么？因为这后面的这个民宿和我感觉和中国其他地方的民宿有点不一样，这有点更现代的感觉。
是的，是的，我是整个村的一个总规划师，然后这里也是就像您说的一样，它整个风格倾向于现代。就是我是学美术的，然后我在法国、在欧洲游学了2年，然后也看了很多现代性的东西，然后我们就想。怎么就是把这个古村落又保留，然后要有新的东西引进来，以至于你现在看到古村落在那边，然后现在民宿是在这边，
对，
就是这个民宿稻田餐厅在这边，
稻田餐厅
是因为我们想在中间有一个，就是让它有距离感，一个现代的东西和一个古村落，这个古村落我们保护起来了，但是这个现代的东西我们依然在这个村里面能见到。比如说大城市的人游客来，他来了以后，他的生活所有的起居，他还能在现代这个系统里面，然后他就可以去观赏、去体会、去学习、去整个游历这个古村落。这个古村落就是他的一个就是学习、观察，以至于旅游的一个点。那2个结构有什么对比？那让他们去对比，让他们来学习，这样就是我们的一个目的。
可以。那这里有现代的这种建筑物以外，也保留了一些古老的东西，对吧？像古村啊什么的。
对，我们在保留的古村也保留了，就是这个用旧的这个房子进行改造。
那我现在能去看一下吗？
可以，我们一起去。走，好，走，这，啊。这里就是改建过的那个房子，这里是改建过的，那边是老的。好，走，我带你进去看一看。
好吧。里面也是老的那种样子吗？
里面就是它已经全部变了，里面和之前的那种老的完全是不一样，是吧？
这灯都不一样。
对，灯也不一样，天顶也不一样。然后我们去走这边看看。
看房间吗？
对。
房间
和以前的那种房间也不一样，就是它重新全部改造过了。好，
这吗？
行，
当时改造的时候，村民是怎么想的呢？
其实我们当时也遇到了很多困难，就是村民他不理解你到底要做什么。然后比如说我们当时去开一个爸爸会的时候，然后当时就有妇女在那里拉鞋垫，我当时就拿着那个妇女的那个鞋垫，我说你看，我说外面现在人家都想要这些东西，以至于我们可以就是把你们这些东西然后做出来，然后我们把民宿规划出来，把环境搞好了，游客一来拿着你这个，他会按照他的喜欢他就给你买走了，这样你就不是有了收益嘛。
所以当时讲了这个之后，他们就愿意去尝试这个。
对啊，就是当时讲完之后，就有村民说，那我们试试，我们把房子给你，然后你来改造，经过我们的一个整个规划，然后设计师来再给他们提升改造。
对，
然后就现在你呈现出来的这种感觉。我们的理念就是还是 保护这种传统的这种古村落，或者保护这种传统的这种建筑模式。但是我们可以在里面把现代性的东西植入进来，然后它就是一个新和旧的结合。
Wangche Village, Kaiyang County, a rich and beautiful village that hadn't revealed its true image for many years, finally discovered someone who could unveil its mystery. Chen Shunlin is the head of Wangche Village and also an art teacher. It's not exaggerating to call Wangche Village a place of idyllic beauty. Under the leadership of Chen Shunlin, transformation has been achieved in just a few short years. In life, one needs not only an eye for beauty, but also an eye for problem solving.
我们现在在的这个隧道是在哪里？
就是贵阳市花果园的遵义中路隧道。
那他们现在在干什么？
他们现在在测我们这个混凝土背后的一个空洞和这个混凝土的厚度。
所以这上面显示的东西都在这里面。
对，就是我们上面显示的，就是我们通过往前走就可以看到它扫描的这条侧线后面的那个混凝土的质量，比如说密实，然后还有它的厚度都可以判断出来。
那里面还有什么东西吗？就看不到的东西。
里面的话，从我们图像上来看的话，它实际里面有钢筋就可以在里面明显的反射出来。然后二一个后面还有防水板就是我们这个隧道不能漏水它里面就加了一层防水板，还有我们的排水设施都在里面。
都在里面。那这个隧道如果通了以后，你们的任务就完成了吗？
通了以后，我们的检测任务只是交工检测，后期营运过程中，比如说它经常会下大雨，它也会渗漏水，这个隧道会漏水，那个时候也需要做平时我们每年做的一个常规性检查，就像人的身体一样，每年要到医院体检，这个隧道或者桥梁也都一样，每年都要做一个体检，保证我们就是主要是我们老百姓出行的一个安全。
那这个隧道的高度有多少呢？
这个隧道它这个湖部最高的位置一般是7到8米，我们就是通过我们的检测，到时候会做一个净空断面的测量，就是测出它的净空来。净空是我们通测的高度实际的这个的那个净高要比这个通测高度要高一点。
像这种桥梁在贵阳有多少个？
我们在做的，在检测的，每年有100多座要桥梁需要做检测，是贵阳市的。然后道路的话就是100多公里，然后隧道的话也有100多公里，只是整个贵阳市而言。
那你们做这个工作对自己来说，感觉到有什么意义吗？
我们做这个工作，我们最深切的感受就是为老百姓的出行提供一个安全保障。我们做这些所有的路桥隧的检测，都是为了保障老百姓的安全出行。我们觉得这个就是我们最大的意义所在。
你在贵阳生活了多久？
我在贵阳生活了8年了。
8年？那你是哪里的？
我是湖北人。
湖北的。
Whether it's an old Guiyang resident protecting the environment and bringing warmth to the city, or Guiyang innovators with their advanced technology and bold exploration, or blow-ins coming to Guiyang to forge ahead and pursue their dreams. Over these past decades, such people have witnessed the rise of Guiyang and helped the city to develop. Guiyang has changed from being a remote, unknown city surrounded by mountains to being a world-famous, cool and refreshing summer city. From the thorough development of big data to its booming new economic industry, Guiyang has developed a far-flung reputation as China's data valley. It's seizing new opportunities and opening up new fields. Guiyang is accelerating along the road of high-quality development and writing a brilliant chapter on the evolution of a new era.